Today, we're going to be ranking teams for the 2026 NFL season. We're back, me and Bengal. Let's just get things started with the Arizona Cardinals. And as you can see, we got the tiers here. Super Bowl contender, playoffs, mid, bad, and teams looking forward to the number one pick, maybe. So where do you think the Cardinals go? I have a pretty good idea where I would put them.
Yeah, I think, you know what? Of all of the good teams this year, they are definitely one of the least good. I think they're going to look, and this is the thing, is you don't have to be bad. The Cardinals aren't a bad team. They're just a team that's looking forward to the draft more than other teams. So let's throw them in draft season.
Yeah, they're going to be one of the, those teams that's probably looking at quarterback this upcoming year. And this could be a pretty good draft class for QBs. I'm sure we'll do some draft videos at some point.
Yeah, it was a weird offseason with Jacoby Brissett.
Is he still holding out?
The whole contract problems and all that. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get everything fully resolved. Jacoby Brissett was in such a strong position. He kind of held all the cards.
It's crazy. All players, Jacoby Brissett.
What is the alternative, right? Like bring Clayton Tune back? What is he up to?
Selling insurance, probably.
This is when you know it's not great, is because the overview on Wikipedia is Clayton Tune is an American professional football quarterback, and that's it. Doesn't say for the Arizona Cardinals. He just is an American professional football quarterback. Most recently on the offseason or practice squad of the Columbus Aviators.
Okay.
Who is a team in the
Arena
UFL.
League? Oh, UFL. Okay. Yeah, all right. Good for him. I think Cardinals.
What a start.
They're trying to hype up, like, who's the guy they drafted? Carson Beck?
No, Carson Beck.
Jeremiah Love, obviously. I was thinking more QB. Yeah, Jeremiah Love could have a sick year. He's going to be getting the ball a lot, probably. Although they have a pretty good receiving group. But, yeah, I think they're going to be one of those looking at quarterback this upcoming season. Falcons, though, coming up next. They could kind of fall into a few different tiers here, I think. And it's mainly because that division's not that good. So anyone can win that division. So playoff tier because of that.
It's just, how do you want to go about it, right? Because, I mean, we've talked about this before. I think we view the NFC South teams all pretty similarly. And that's not to say that, the records won't end up finishing super different. But I think that these are all teams you could see making the playoffs due to the overall strength of the division. Like, just because of last year, my bias would say that the Panthers are probably going to be the playoff team, but it was so close even last year, right? So I kind of expect more of the same.
Yeah.
I think if you want to say they're mid, I guess, like they're a mid-tier type of team that, depending on a few games during the season, could either be, fighting for that playoff spot as maybe an 8 or 9 win team, or maybe a 6 or 7 win team. And that's the difference in between making the playoffs and not in a division like that.
It really is.
But again, if you have a favorable schedule and play well enough and win some close one-score games, a team in that division could, in theory, win 11 games and make the playoffs. It's just, I feel like the win total just isn't what it used to be, because an 11-win team, you were a great team. But this extra game and the way the scheduling is now, it just kind of makes it seem like it's not as big of a deal as it used to be.
Yeah, I completely get that. I mean, 8 and 9, 3 teams at 8 and 9 last year won a division, the Panthers. So mid, just can't really throw in. I mean, it's either we put them all in playoffs or all in mid, I feel like, but I'm sure we'll talk about the other teams in a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we get to the offseason, everyone's like, how could we possibly be still mid? We got better. And literally, like, 30 of 32 teams are going to feel that way.
Yeah.
Every single team, if
everyone's got a chance,
got slightly better, then nobody really did. Like, it varies, right? So it's like they could still have gotten better and perform worse. It doesn't seem to make sense, but that's how it works sometimes. So, the Falcons obviously have talent. I think the defense still needs work. I like the idea of Kevin Stefanski coming in. I actually think Tua could be pretty good with the Falcons because he's going to be playing in a dome. You don't have to deal with the cold weather. That was clearly a huge problem. Obviously, there's still going to be away games, but for the most part, I actually think Tua and Kevin Stefanski can be a pretty good marriage. Everybody's down on Tua, and I don't think Tua is that good, but I think in a perfect scenario, which it actually seems like the Falcons could be pretty good. They've got arguably the best running back in the league. They've got a top receiver in the league. They've got, if he's playing well, one of the top receiving tight ends in the league. And their offensive line isn't even too bad. Like, the Falcons have potential, but we can point out good things about all of these South teams. I'm sure we're going to.
Every team's got potential going into the season.
Yeah.
I do think they have a higher floor with Tua than Michael Penix. I don't think I'm going to get much pushback on that.
I'm just going to say it. Like, I think typically in the past I've been more shy about being so brutal. Michael Penix is horrible. The guy is the least accurate quarterback in the league, maybe. And this was not a problem that was, coming out of the blue. If you watch him at Washington, he had an elite group of receivers who had elite body control and were able to contort their body and make plays even if the ball wasn't where it needed to be. Even look at Jalen Polk. He's not been a good NFL player, but he was incredible at doing that in college. And, Penix didn't have to put it on the money. In the NFL, the windows are tighter. You need to be more precise. He is not precise. It's one of those things where it's like he'll put it directly on the money or 10 yards away from where it needs to be. And that's just not the consistency that's going to lead to long-term success. It's like Anthony Richardson in a way. And like the Penix to Richardson comp feels crazy. And I'm not saying they're the same player, but the fact that on one play, the guy can look like the best you've ever seen in terms of how did he do that. And then the 70% is just not nearly good enough. I think Tua is far and away a better starting decision than Penix, unless Michael Penix took massive strides. But I'll tell you, the thing about quarterbacks and accuracy is it's not generally one of those things that gets a ton better over a career. It seems like it would, but it just typically has not. There are instances, Josh Allen reworked his throwing mechanics entirely and became incredible, but you can improve as a processor, as, someone that improves their internal clock and all these different things, pocket awareness, mobility, but accuracy is one of those things that it's hard to improve that. So I just don't know what the future of Michael Penix looks like.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you just said there. Before we move on to the Ravens, though, would appreciate if you guys hit that like button and subscribe. We are back uploading on the regular for the 2026 season. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are too. So, and I don't know if you guys got any things you want to say to us in the comments, let us know. I'm sure you guys got opinions about this tier list. My Ravens, man, I think they can't go into Super Bowl contender as much as I would like them to be. Playoffs, though. They've got to get back into the playoffs this season, but new coaching staff. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But a disaster of a season last year. They've got to improve. I think they did a little bit, but I'm not sure. I don't think they're a mid-tier team, but they're maybe playoffs.
My initial thought is last year is just an aberration. Like, I think this is a good team with good players. They had a lot of injury problems too last year.
The defense, though.
If Nnamdi Madubuike can make a return at some point, like, their defense gets so much better.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like Jesse Minter a ton too. But I just think Super Bowl contender, would it be a shock to see the Ravens get to the Super Bowl? I don't think so. But I think for the sake of this tier list, we can't put them in Super Bowl contender right now. I think that's got to be reserved for the few elite teams in the league.
Yeah. And there might be, I mean, I guess not a shocker, maybe only two teams that make it a Super Bowl contender. Like, who knows? Like, I haven't really thought about it.
I think just for the sake of the tier list.
But for the tier list playoffs.
Yeah.
I think they should be a playoff team. It's not like the division is all that hard for me. I mean, it was pretty bad all around last year as a whole. And the Ravens, skill-wise, is one of the best, if not the best, in the division. It's just defense was a problem last year, and I don't necessarily know if they got better on defense. and that's a bit of a concern for me. But yeah, this should be a playoff team. They should win the division, but should and would, who knows? Bills though, this could be an interesting conversation here. I feel like their chance was last year with the Bills. Like the AFC was so wide open for them, and they didn't do anything with it.
The last time we ranked the Bills, we threw them in Super Bowl contender. Yeah, and I didn't really like it. Now, any team that gets into the playoffs can be a Super Bowl contender, right? You just need to win, 2 or 3 games in a row. Teams are capable of doing so. Yeah. I mean, I'm a Giants fan. You look back to the 2007 and 2011 Giants teams that snuck into the playoffs and then ran the gauntlet and then, beat the best team of all time, arguably up to that point. So like all it takes is getting in sometimes, right? So we're aware of that. Throwing a team in mid or playoffs doesn't mean they can't win the Super Bowl, obviously. But I think
it's more
Bills
like these are the clear favorites versus the guys.
I'd put the Bills into playoffs. I think they're a really solid team with some clear holes, and we saw those holes really drag them down last year. We'll see what it looks like in 2026.
I do like the addition of DJ Moore to that offense, though. So I'm also just a big Keon Coleman hater, I guess.
Yeah, he's been bad.
So bad.
He's been really
Vindicated. All right, but hey, they got one of the best running backs in the league too. Moving on to the Panthers, another NFC South team. Do we just throw them into mid?
Yeah, I think so. I like the Panthers. I
playing
still
a first place schedule
about
now.
What's up?
I said they're going to be playing a first place schedule this year.
Yes, which that does complicate things slightly. Obviously, they're going to still have 8 similar or the same opponents, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Or is it 7 technically because they're not playing themselves? It's the NFC South plus
whatever division they're playing in.
So I don't. They might have other common opponents as well, just by happenstance. But the Panthers, I like what they're building. It's just the offensive line with the injuries and the changes that they've made. I don't think there's any way to predict that that's going to be a really solid, improved unit. They might be, but they also might not be. And I think one of the more underrated losses is Cade Mays is a Lion now, and he was a really impactful player on that Panthers offensive line last year. That's going to be a potentially tough player to replace. I think they drafted well, and they've got a potential future starter in Hecht, but at the same time, I don't think they've done enough to show us yet that they're in a tier above the rest of the South.
Yeah.
Even though they went toe-to-toe with the Rams any given Sunday, right? The Rams are, I think, as good as any team in the league, especially now with everything going on there with Myles Garrett
in the playoffs.
Yeah,
anything can
happen.
But
I think mid is fine because this is a team that we could see in the playoffs. We could see missing the playoffs, and good teams miss the playoffs. I mean, I think everyone kind of expected that the Lions would be a playoff team, and then we saw what happened in 2025. It just doesn't always work out the way you want. You can be good, but not good enough, because if you don't bring your A game every single week, you can fall out of playoff contention.
Yeah, exactly. Chicago Bears, could they, build off of a pretty strong season last year into this season? I think they can. Are they a playoff team though? That's the real question. I think I would personally put them into playoffs. It's almost like the opposite of the NFC South though, where I just think the NFC North is that good that there could be a lot of playoff teams in that division.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they're a playoff team. I think Drew Dahlman retiring
that was crazy.
End up hurting this team, of course, but overall, I still expect them to be basically as good as they were last year, and that's a team that I think gets in the playoffs. But again, if the Lions play better, if the Packers stay as good as they have been, maybe J.J. McCarthy or Kyler Murray elevate the Vikings. Obviously, with J.J. McCarthy's a bit of a joke right now, but also we've seen him play some of 1 year, right? It's if you're expecting him to be elite as basically a rookie, that is rare to see happen. Now, I don't know what his real ceiling is, but maybe he or Murray elevate the team enough. The Vikings are a talented roster. They
Very
also lose
talented.
Jonathan Grenard. So that could be a potentially big loss off the edge. I know not a huge sack total guy, but a big pressure guy. And that stuff is pretty valuable. So I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what to expect from the Vikings. They've had a lot of turnover in general, especially on the defensive line. But I think this is a team that actually could get into the playoffs. I'm not sure if we should put them in mid or playoffs, though. I like them, but again, as you said, I think they're like it's like an NFC South type of conversation, but better teams.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like they could all be in the playoff tier. Doesn't mean they're going to all make the playoffs. It's just they're all going to be good enough for the playoffs. And it's like the opposite where the NFC South, they could all miss the playoffs, and it wouldn't be that shocking.
Well, if they all miss the playoffs, I would be.
Well, they can't. I mean, like they all have, like you know what I mean. Like, you can see every single one of those teams missing the playoffs, but somebody's got to make it. Like last year, Bengals. This is such a weird team, the Cincinnati Bengals, because it really comes down to health, right? Like a healthy Joe Burrow is going to keep him in at least the playoff talks, but it's like. That's like a massive if now. Like, is he ever going to be healthy?
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing back the entire O-line, and they bring in Dexter Lawrence now, who, if you get a good version of Dexter Lawrence, and he was even impactful for the Giants last year, even though he wasn't at his all-pro level. The defense sucked in general, but they were better when he was on the field. This Bengals team have invested a lot into the defense. And
needed to.
They should be better. They should be, right? And we know the offense is going to be good. That's just what they do. And you think maybe a year again of playing with the same guys in the O-line, more built-in chemistry, more experience. I think you've got to throw them in playoffs.
I think they're easily a playoff team if things go well for them. Joe Burrow's healthy 2 years ago. Just last year he wasn't, and then the year before 2023, he wasn't. So maybe this is the year. Every other year, he's going to be healthy. This is the year he's going to be healthy.
We'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, I think the healthy Bengals can easily win the division. So too talented of a team, and we'll see if the improved defense, keeps them into games. So, I mean, do we got to even talk about the Browns?
with Myles Garrett, I would say, man, this team's bad. But without Myles Garrett, I think it's back to draft season. And
gotta be.
It's disappointing because their defense was so good last year. They also lose Devin Bush, right? I think he goes to Chicago to replace Tremaine Edmonds. And it's like there's not really a ton to be excited about. There are still some good players here, but I don't think there's enough to say that this team's going to be fighting for a playoff spot. It's just not expected, especially in their division. If the Bengals stay healthy and are improved and the Ravens are the team we expect them to be, if you're going to say last year was not the team they really are, and then the Steelers are always going to be just good enough, and Mike McCarthy gets the most out of his team, even if he maybe doesn't have what it takes to get them over the finish line a lot of the time.
Yeah,
it's always a very competitive regular season team under Mike McCarthy. I think the Browns, you're going to be shocked by this, but it probably just isn't their year again. Like it hasn't been for 25 years in a row minimum.
Yeah. I want to say like the positives is they got some fun young players, but I feel like we say that all the time about the Browns. And they got some cool young players. Are they ever going to do anything with them? Who knows? But they're going to be in competition for that number 1 overall pick this year, I think pretty easily, but we'll see. I mean, Jared Verse they got back for the Myles Garrett trade is a good player. He's just not Myles Garrett. So
yeah, like Jared Verse, he's a big, strong power rusher, pressure over sack guy, but he is replacing the best defensive player we've probably seen in the past 2 decades.
Yeah,
there are some guys in the conversation like J.J. Watt, obviously Aaron Donald, but Myles Garrett is in that inner trio conversation for best player we've seen in this century. So
yeah,
it's tough to replace that guy.
Yeah, not very. They're going to be so bad. Dallas Cowboys. I feel like they should be a playoff team.
I think so.
I think
Right?
they should be.
Keeping George Pickens, I think, is big.
Yeah.
The offense still looks like pretty good. Dak is still, I think, quite a good quarterback. He's a really overhated quarterback, and he's not
Underrated
a top
player.
5 guy usually, but he's right around top 10. And I think he's right at that cutoff of like, this is your franchise guy. Like, yeah, he's made some mistakes. It seems like every Cowboys quarterback's going to. Like, he's kind of similar in a lot of ways to Tony Romo, who was like quite good as a starter, but made some crazy bad mistakes. And everyone's like, all right, he's choker, never going to be able to get it done. And they were right. They were right about that.
Yeah.
But Dak is definitely quite good. And then if this defense can improve even at all, like they're going to be a really solid team. They bring in Caleb Downs. I think that's a nice addition. I don't know what you can expect from Malachi Lawrence as a rookie, but like the Cowboys team is pretty good. If they get a good version of Rashawn Gary, which no way to tell if that's going to happen, like this is going to be a playoff team. That's a bit of a gamble, but I think they're good enough to go into that, like the back end of the playoff tier.
Yeah. I mean, there's 7 teams that make the playoffs now, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, in
could,
each conference.
Yeah. So they could be one of those teams. Wouldn't be surprising. Denver Broncos. Pretty good year last year. This might be a Super Bowl contender talk here. Now, I think that's I like that crazy to say. I like him a lot.
I think the thing about Denver, though,
I don't trust
is the Raiders were like the worst team ever last year. The Chiefs were so bad, and I just don't expect the Chiefs to be that bad. Like, just because we've seen it. Like, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They're really good. We basically saw a dynasty, and now, like, are we supposed to expect that they're just going to float around the 6 to 8 win mark, and then Andy Reid's going to be fired? I guess it's a possibility, but I think the Chiefs are going to be better. The Chargers, I still expect to be good. I don't know that the Broncos are going to finish with the same type of record that they did in 2025. I still really like the team, and I think that I could easily see them in the Super Bowl. But do we think they're one of the top 2 teams in the league or top 3 teams? Is that how many do we want to have in the Super Bowl contender tier?
I mean, it's a good question. I don't know. I mean, we make the rules. There's no rules.
I'll let you feel about it. I like the Broncos a lot.
I like the Broncos too. It goes back to the Chiefs, right? Where is Patrick Mahomes pre-injury? He was not that good last year. Is he going to bounce back after his injury to being good again? And I gotta say yes. He's too good of a player to be like, yeah, he's going to be bad now. I love Denver's defense, and I think that's what is going to carry a lot of weight here. I think Denver's defense is very good. I don't know if I could put him quite into Super Bowl contender as much as I want to. I think they got to be in playoffs.
And it's like fair.
They're close. Like I think out of all the playoff teams, I would put them at the top here. If I can do that. Not that I'm trying to order them or anything, but they're so close to being in the Super Bowl contender tier for me, but
I think being harsh with that is maybe the way to play it.
Yeah,
because if we
already
would have had the Bills, Ravens in there. Yeah, I think they're in like the same type of tier as the Broncos.
And I love the addition of Jalen Waddle to that offense now too. So
I think that should be super fun.
They're close, and maybe we'll look back at this and put him up at the Super Bowl contender. But for now, I think playoffs, it's incredibly
if playoffs
close.
Gets too crowded, I think the first 3 teams
could move up
in that tier. Could move up.
Yeah.
If we're looking for more space.
I think we're
nothing bad yet.
Yeah, I think we're going to start seeing some more of those teams soon. Or maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of good teams in the NFL right now. Lions. I mean, they probably were playoff contender. I think you got to think they bounce back. They got to bounce back. It was surprising of how bad they were last year. I just don't see that happening again with the Detroit Lions. I think, but also maybe they're missing Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
maybe that's a problem for them. But I think I still will have to say they're a playoff team, despite a down year last year. They still technically had a winning record, 9-8. But yeah, I think they bounce back, but it's going to come down to what we said about the Bears. Like, they all are potential playoff teams. Just a few wins and losses either way can change things. Same with the Packers. I think you got to put it. I don't think I'd put it in mid.
No, definitely not.
So they're going to be a playoff team for us. So
yeah,
this is like kind of how the tiers worked out here, where we're seeing a lot of playoff teams here. Now, the Texans. This is a fun team. This is a very, very fun team.
I don't think you can put them any higher than playoffs, though, because
I don't trust
saw
CJ Stroud.
how awful the offense was. Like the defense really is,
so
I think, all-time great.
Yeah.
But if the offense can't score points, you're just going to keep losing games, allowing 13 or whatever. Like, the defense is incredible, but they have no running game. I know they're desperately trying to improve that. We'll see if it works.
Yeah, I think I just don't trust CJ Stroud right now after the last few years. If we get rookie CJ Stroud back somehow, that would be great. But yeah, the offense, very sus. Don't trust them. But defense is making him a Super Bowl contender. Colts. I'm putting the Colts in mid. That might be a hot take.
No, I don't think so. I think that's fair.
Like, first half of the season last year, they were incredible. I just don't see that happening again. And I see more of the second half Colts up.
I think on either side there will be regression. I think there is going to be positive regression to the second half with getting Daniel Jones back, because I don't think the offense will be as bad as it was. And I think there's going to be negative regression to the first half, because they're just not going to start out undefeated for 6 or 7 weeks. It's just not going to happen. I don't think so. I think this is a team that obviously you could see them making the playoffs. It would not be a shock to see them missing it. And I think that's kind of what the mid-tier is. I think the Colts, if I had to bet on it right this second, I would say, they probably missed the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see it. I don't see it this year. And, hey, I could be wrong, but I don't see it. Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm a playoff team here.
I think so, too. Trevor Lawrence looked very good last year.
Yeah, Liam Cohen's just a good coach. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah. So, and I mean, the team as a whole is very good. Defense was balling last year. Maybe they get Brian Thomas Jr. working again, too. That'd be great for the offense.
Yeah, you'd hope.
But, yeah, overall, I think playoff contender. And if Trevor Lawrence can keep doing what he was doing at second half last year, they're going to be looking pretty good. Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go, Chief. They're weird. I think they almost have to be in playoffs.
We got to do something about this playoff year.
Yeah, I think we
clear.
I think it's getting a little cluttered.
Okay, move the top 3 teams up.
Yeah,
I would say.
I think they should be playoff contenders. Chiefs is a weird one because they were not good pre-Mahomes injury. They were already not good. But
I think they will be better. They are the Chiefs.
They're the Chiefs. I almost think we have to put them in Super Bowl contender. They're the Kansas City Chiefs.
I know that's not probably great analysis, so I'll add on to it. I think after getting married to Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce,
I was gonna say that too. Dude, the NFL's gonna
team up.
Dude, the NFL has to have the Chiefs.
Obviously, to end this Taylor Swift fairy tale, it's got to be another Super Bowl for Kansas City.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, I think a lot of the Chiefs' problems last year were exposed like even with Mahomes. I think the offense is going to change. I think there will be more opportunity for the explosive plays that we know the Chiefs for with the emergence of a running game. Paying Kenneth Walker, I think, will pay absolute dividends because you cannot just say, hey, we don't need to worry about the run. They can't do it. Get everybody back. Now, you cannot do that. Kenneth Walker will destroy you. I think defenses will have to game plan for that more than they did last year. And I think it's not that you have to establish the run to open up the pass. I think that's like a misconception because if your passing game is so good, it just doesn't really matter. But I think you need the threat of the run.
Yeah, you need it still.
Where if teams don't think you can run the ball and they don't have to, put even 7-man boxes out there, just put 6 in the box and shut it down anyway, or just a stock 7 in the box and you stop it easily. Like you sometimes need on 3rd and 2 to see 9 in the box and then work play action off of it or pass or do something that, is not going to be as obvious as what was happening last year. And the Chiefs were just getting shut down. I think this year and all the Rashee Rice stuff, like, oh man, are you going to put him in Super Bowl contender?
I'm just placing them over here for now.
I think
playoffs.
I think they will be better. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. It is an aggressive ranking after last year. But if we're going to put the Ravens there.
Yeah. I think the conversation is if we're putting these two up here, where are we putting the Chiefs?
Because how are the 6-win Chiefs better than the Bears? I can't even.
Like, do you like the Broncos over the Chiefs right now? I think it's a yes.
Probably.
I think it's a yes. So I think just based off that, we'll knock it down. I would, and I'm, you're biased. The Ravens are up here. I'm okay moving the Ravens back down to the playoffs if we have to. We're just kind of trying to declare the playoff here a little bit. But I'm okay either way. But
let's throw the Raiders in draft season. I don't think there's much to
talk
about there.
I was going to say, is there a conversation to put them just in bad, but they're probably going to be.
I don't think so.
I think they're going to be in the
I'm going to be honest. The bottom 2 tiers is kind of like, dude, you were wrong. We weren't draft season. We should have been in bad. So you got me. I don't know. I don't think much of the Ravens. Like their big move was to go out and get Jalen Naylor. Like I think he could end up being solid as a true starter now, but I don't really think much of the team overall. I think
they paid a couple years Tyler away. Linderbaum so much money, man. They're gonna be good.
They did, but the way the contract is structured, interestingly, is that it's like he might become a free agent as this team's kind of getting good. So it's like
I don't know why they paid him.
Also, I don't think it can be understated or overstated how impactful a really, really good center can be for a young quarterback.
That's true. Yeah,
we're talking about Mendoza. He's not even going to be the starter right away.
Yeah, they're saying Kirk's going to start the whole year, right? Pretty much. At least that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. It was if that's the case. Raiders draft season. They're going to be in contention for the number 1 pick. It'll be very interesting to see what would happen with the draft if they are the number 1 pick again. They're going to be trading down. Or Jeremiah Smith. We'll see.
I mean,
Chargers.
There are some parallels. 2007.
Yep.
The Raiders passed on Calvin Johnson to take Jamarcus Russell. Yeah, now that the Raiders already drafted Jamarcus Russell and Fernando Mendoza, it's a fun way to phrase that. 2 guys that probably couldn't be more different. Now maybe they can take their Calvin Johnson. Could we see a wide receiver go at number 1 overall if that's where the Raiders are?
That'd be kind of crazy, but Jeremiah Smith, pretty generational player.
The whole reason you trade out of that pick is because teams give you an absolute haul for number 1. But it might be one of those spots like we saw last year in the draft where it's like the Cardinals are at 3 and teams could move up, but maybe you're not going to get all that you want, even though they were not moving up for a QB. But you just thought Jeremiah Love was so good that you had to take him. It's like for the Raiders, is it really worth moving out of 1 to get, multiple first-round picks back if it means losing Jeremiah Smith? still going to be some good options at receiver. I mean, if Cam Coleman has the year I expect him to, Cam Coleman's going to be a top 5 or 10 pick easily.
Oh yeah, for
so
sure.
Maybe they would think it's okay, but yeah, we could. I think there is a non-zero chance with how good Jeremiah Smith is and how unknown quarterback is at the top that Jeremiah Smith goes 1-1 if the Raiders are there.
Yeah, if they're there. Yeah.
I also
there's some other
so much Texas bias. I do think Arch is going to end up being the first pick.
I agree.
So we'll see. The thing is, he just played very well.
You're just saying this because he's a Manning. He's overrated.
And then I keep hearing from Ray Weather, "Oh, you're a biased Texas fan, thinking Arch is going to go number 1." I'm like, it honestly has nothing to do with that. When with my draft evaluations, I like Texas players more, but I don't factor that into the grade or the evaluation.
The thing is, Texas got some really good players upcoming this year too. The tackles,
so, I mean, it's frustrating. He's like, "Who do you think's going to be the first tackle?" I'm like, "Trevor Gooseby, Texas." Who's going to be the first, quarterback? Arch Manning, Texas. Who's going to be the first edge? I think I actually had Dylan Stewart going higher, but it could be Colin Simmons. But anyway, it's like they've just got really good players.
They got good players
right now. So we'll see what happens, obviously. But yeah, the Raiders,
some of those guys,
Jeremiah Smith could be very interesting.
Even if it's not Jeremiah Smith, some of those other guys could go 1-1, like tackle. Well, maybe not. I don't know if they need tackle, but who knows? A year from edge. Anyways, enough about the Raiders. Chargers. All right, mid. We're done with that. I'm kidding.
Stop. I always have to be the Chargers defender.
I'm joking.
And even last year, like, everyone's like, "Oh, if Justin Herbert was so good, he would elevate the team." I'm like, did you not see the Chargers last year? They won, 11 games?
Something like that.
The Chargers were good last year.
Yeah, they were 11-6.
Like, they are a good team. Now, are they going to constantly fall apart in the playoffs? Maybe so. Like, that game going into Foxborough to play the Patriots was tough. It was like super cold. There was no offense. Their defense did well enough, and the Chargers just could not capitalize. You can't keep making excuses for this stuff happening in the playoffs, but they are a good team. Can they finally make the jump to win a playoff game and win the Super Bowl? It's hard to say. It's really tough to do that, but they're going to get there, I think, almost certainly. Like, this is for sure a playoff team.
They didn't really have like a great run game last year either. So
no, all the injuries, like Kamani Vidal was playing
Hampton
an incredible amount. Hampton hopefully is going to be healthy this year. We'll see on that.
Yeah, so get a little bit of a run game. It's going to free things up for Justin Herbert on the offense. So yeah, I think playoff tier for sure. I'm good with that. Rams, I think this is the easiest Super Bowl contender team. How could you
looks
not
like
put
a
them in
super
Super Bowl
team.
It's unbelievable that they got Myles Garrett on this team now.
Yeah,
I think the last time we did the Steelers, the trade hasn't happened yet. Like, we're
true.
months away from that trade. Insane. I mean, like, what else is there to say about this Rams team? If they don't win the Super Bowl, this might be one of the biggest disappointments we've had in a while.
Yeah, it really is like the Dodgers.
They were good last year. Like, I would say, I liked them as a Super Bowl team last year when we're going into the playoffs. So yeah, Myles Garrett is unbelievable. That's crazy. This might be the easiest draft season team, the Dolphins. Who is on that team?
I want to like Malik Willis, but the situation's no good.
Who else is on that? Who is he throwing the ball to?
Malik Washington.
Tutu Atwell, Jalen Tolbert, Malik Washington. All right. Easiest draft season tier. Vikings. I mean, we talked about them a little bit earlier. They're kind of just, I mean, we put every NFC North team in the playoffs, but it's the opposite NFC South. It's like, what do you do with them?
Yeah, I mean,
would you move any of them up or down? I don't know if I could. I could argue Vikings down just because we don't know quarterback.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Just because QB's weird. But the
I
team
can
is
be
so
swayed
good
here. I think they're in the middle of these two tiers, really. Like, I think.
Like, is there a tier we can add? I don't know. Just to clear it up.
While we say that we have one wide open and unused. That's going to fill up, though. I'm looking at some teams.
It's coming. It's coming up.
We're going to get a couple at least. I kind of think the Vikings are okay where they are. I mean, if you look at how they performed last year,
yeah,
they still went out and won 9 games.
Yeah,
and they really didn't have competent quarterback play. I think they could step up and win 10 and make the playoffs. Yeah, I like them in playoffs. I don't know that they're going to get in. It's as you said, it's the same conversation with Falcons and the Panthers, but
yeah, they're the closest to being into the other tier, but I don't think I can move them down, and I don't think I can move the Bears up to Super Bowl contender either. So, maybe we'll sort it out, or we'll just leave it like this. I mean, there's 14 teams that make the playoffs, so it's not like this is crazy. Patriots. I think they're just playoffs. I'm not putting them in Super Bowl contender.
I think they
regress.
I don't think they're quite as good as their record showed. And they played a great Seattle team. They deserve to lose the Super Bowl. But I just think we saw that they were completely outclassed.
Yeah.
And it's that Super Bowl never really felt that close. It was kind of a defensive battle at times, but I never really felt like the Patriots were going to score enough to win that game.
Yeah, I agree.
They didn't. Seattle made a couple big plays, and it was over.
Yeah.
As soon as that A.J. Barner touchdown happened, you're like, oh, there's literally no chance the Patriots will win this game.
Yep.
So I just think we saw how different they were, and
I wouldn't be shocked if they missed the playoffs, honestly. I just think
there's a lot going on up there right now.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if they missed the playoffs. I feel like it'd be crazy if I put them in mid right now.
No, I think back end of playoffs is fine.
Back end of playoffs, fine. Saints, mid. NFC South team.
Yeah.
They were the team that didn't go 8-9 last year, but I think it's weird that they look. I mean, Shuck looked solid last year.
Yeah, I don't think the Saints are good.
No,
I'm bad is calling out to me, to be honest.
We could put him in bad. I'm okay with putting him in bad.
We had all this hype up about how these teams were all basically going to go in the same tier. But I didn't think the Saints were good last year, and they won 6 games.
What about Travis Etienne?
Maybe they are cut below. I don't really see the Saints winning that division.
I'm completely okay putting him in bad. I think they didn't really add a whole lot to the team from last year. So, except for Travis Etienne. But I don't know if he's a big difference maker to the point where I think they're maybe even 8-9 next year.
I think regardless of all that, I think the roster as a whole is just not close enough. I think, they lose Alontae Taylor. They replace him somewhat with Mansour Delane.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're bringing back an ancient Cam Jordan. They still have the same problems offensively. Who do you trust to catch the ball? How many games are we going to see a Jordan Tyson?
Mansour Delane's on the Chiefs, but
did I say Delane? I meant I did not mean Delane. What did I mean here? The nickel. Are they bringing? Did they bring in Martin Emerson?
Yes.
Not Mansour, Martin.
Yeah, Martin Emerson.
Yeah, they brought in Martin Emerson. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not mean to say that. Obviously Tyson was their first round pick.
Yeah. I know somebody was going to come at you in the comments for that, so I just had to make sure we clear that up real quick.
Yeah, okay. I didn't even realize they said that. That's kind of the problem with doing these videos sometimes.
Hey, we're just yapping.
You don't even realize it.
Hey, we're just yapping.
I still have questions about the secondary.
I don't think they added
question
enough.
The pass rush.
Yeah. I don't think the H-Hand was their big and kind of their only real signing, it feels like, and it's not a big difference maker for me. Bad. Giants, bad.
Yep, I think bad is good.
I don't think they're I mean, I guess they could be, but I think they're a tier above the draft season guys, but not. They're not good. They're not going to be a playoff team. Exciting players though, but we need to see the Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Giants could win.
They'll win games
in the neighborhood of 8 games this year if things go well. So, I mean, maybe you win 1 or 2 close games, sneak into the playoffs, but I don't really expect that. I think this is a team that's probably going to be in the 5 to 8 win range, 5 to 9 maybe if you want to get aggressive there. But I think if they win 7 or 8, that's kind of what I expect. And that's a bad team. It's fine margins here in the NFL.
Here's what I could propose here for the mid-tier. We could change this to like something where it's like wild card maybe. Would that change it up and move some of these playoff teams down? Because wild card maybe is like they might make it, they might not. It's kind of in that range. Because we're kind of throwing teams into playoff tier. But then I'm looking at it, I was like, who would I move down? Vikings?
I'm cool with the way things have developed.
That's fine. All right, that's fine. Jets. I gotta like how the Jets look. And I know I'm like higher on the Jets than almost everybody. But
we've talked about this before. Like we are kind of like pro Jets right now.
The offense looks really good.
Bad seems obvious, but
I would put them in mid.
Are they mid? Okay, so this is going to work one of 2 ways. Either we look smart in a year and nobody cares because they forgot that we were high on the Jets. Or the Jets are bad, like everybody else seems to think. And people, like a couple people remember and come back and say, hey, we were right about the Jets. Put Jets in mid. Let's stand on business.
Hey, more engagement potentially.
You really think the Jets are as good as the Panthers were in the playoffs last year?
You guys don't know ball.
It's whatever. If the Jets do what the Jets always do, you guys win. But
the offense looks fun. We'll see what Geno does. I get the whole Geno argument because he was not great with the Raiders, but the Raiders as a whole team sucked. It might have not been all Geno. Or it was, and he stinks again, and we're wrong. But the offense looks fun. Mid. Eagles. What?
Probably playoffs.
At least playoffs.
I think the Eagles.
There's an argument to Super Bowl contender.
Obviously, a team you could see making the Super Bowl, but I think the Eagles to me, I kind of view them like the Chiefs.
Okay.
Like, obviously, the Eagles were better last year, but it's like the Chiefs. Of course, they could be a Super Bowl team. I think that's what the Eagles could be. Yeah, of course they could be.
You think AJ Brown gone now is going to impact this team in a big way?
I think so. And then some are going to point to, he dropped the ball when we needed him. It's like this. He was still like the best guy at beating man coverage on the team by a mile.
He was the true receiver one on that team, and I don't know if they have that now. Like I like Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith is awesome. He's just a different style of player.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles have a very talented team.
For sure.
I mean, if the Ravens and Bills are going to be there, and just put them up. If we're going to extend that tier, I'm comfortable with the Eagles in there. I hate them, but I think they went out, they got Grenard.
Yeah,
I think that's going to help out their defense.
I don't think we're going to get much pushback of saying that they're a tier above most of these teams here.
Yeah, Mekhi Lemon could be fun there.
They're a pretty complete team overall.
Yeah,
both offense and defensively.
They brought in Reek Woolen.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
We'll see.
It's about as much as I can say about that.
We'll see how that goes. Steelers gotta be playoffs. I would put them in mid though, but that's just
I was going to say mid.
Oh, okay. I'm in
because that's where they always are. Okay. If we think the Falcons and Panthers could sneak into the playoffs, possibly.
Yeah, I guess. The Steelers made the playoffs because they won the division.
Are comfortably the third team in that division.
In a really bad year for the division. They barely won the division. Aaron Rodgers, though, last dance.
That's fun, but
he was kind of okay last year.
I wouldn't put him in playoffs right now. And I know it's like are they the same as the Vikings? Kind of. but
I think a healthy Bengals are better than them. Ravens, when they're not botching fourth quarter leads, is better than them. No more John Harbaugh to botch leads. That's the Giants' problem now.
Still have big questions about how this O-line is going to work, and the defense really isn't getting any younger.
And injuries piling up on that defense too. Past few years,
they brought in Jaquan Brisker and Jamel Dean though, which is kind of fun.
Yeah,
but yeah, I just think this team wins probably like
8
or 9 games,
7.
8 or 9.
Yeah. Now mid. Hey, I'm good with mid. Niners.
I think they're a playoff team.
Would you put him in Super Bowl contender?
Like, I think they could be there. Like, you're hoping healthy Brock Purdy for a full year, who's clearly awesome for that team. You're hoping like healthy Fred Warner. I think receiver kind of becomes a question for them now. Like Mike Evans is good, but he was hurt last year. Ricky Pearsall hasn't really taken that step that we want to see. Maybe Mike Evans is going to be a solid player for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mike Evans could be good, but he's banged up last year. He's getting these hammy injuries these past few seasons. That's starting to concern me, and he's not getting any younger. But Mike Evans
looking at the team with Mike Evans and George Kittle where he is, and Christian McCaffrey and Trent Williams, and maybe even Nick Bosa. We'll see about.
Are they on a last dance?
It almost seems like it's now or never for this team.
Are they on a last dance with these guys?
I hadn't really been thinking about the Niners that way, but it's like this extra year. It just Trent Williams is almost 40 and almost didn't even come back. Kittle doesn't seem like he really even needs to do this anymore. Like he still wants to. He's still obviously a great player, but he's got other things he could pursue. The guy's a great personality. And McCaffrey is a great player. I think he's going to end up being a Hall of Famer. I think he's that level of player. But he is a 30-year-old running back. And I know he does other things really well. Like, is this guy eventually going to extend his career by moving to slot receiver? That could be really fun.
That'd be cool.
He's got the skill set for it. I mean, but he's in terms of being the bell cow that can handle, 350, 400 touches a year. He just did 413 touches in 2025.
Yeah, the wear and tear is a concern with the guy that already has injury history.
Yeah, I just
it might be a last dance.
This might be it here.
It might be the last dance for them too. But playoffs, I don't think I could put him in Super Bowl. Even though I'm not gonna push back on anybody saying they should be in Super Bowl contender, really. I just wouldn't personally put him there.
Yeah, I think they could get there, but
yeah. The division's also very tough too.
Would you be how surprised would you be if Christian McCaffrey retired after the end of this year or next year?
Not at all surprised.
What's his contract looking like? Because that could matter a lot. He's a free agent after 2027. It's a void year in 2028.
So after next season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. 32 at that time? 31?
He'll be going into free agency at 32. And I haven't heard anything about an extension. So, ugh.
Yeah. Might be the last dance for the Niners here coming up.
It's an interesting thing to monitor.
It's tough.
Yeah, I think they're a clear playoff team. I think Seattle is as well.
Yeah.
I think you expect some regression after the Super Bowl year, personally.
I think the Rams are a tier above. But also, the Rams could probably be in their own tier at this point.
Yeah. I mean, we could move Seattle up just because we have
defending champs.
The other teams in there as well. I still quite like Seattle, but it's got to be said they lost some key pieces.
Yeah,
like that secondary kind of got ransacked.
Yeah, I think that coaching, especially on the defensive side, is very good, very strong for them. Bucks, mid.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about them. I think they're not going to be that great this year.
Yeah, I think they're a decent team if things go well. Maybe they win the division. It wouldn't shock me to see them miss it either. And Todd Bowles gets fired. I think that's like
a
pretty possible outcome.
I wouldn't even push back on putting them in bad. I don't really like the Bucks going into this year. I love Baker though. Baker looked not great second half of the season last year. But
you think they're worse than the Jets?
I think that offense might be.
You think they're worse than the Steelers or Colts?
Oh, they're probably.
I think they're where they need.
They're probably about the same level. Yeah, that's fine. Titans bad. I think they're above the draft season teams, barely.
Yeah, I give it to you. They spent a lot of money last year.
Yeah,
doesn't always work out, but it should raise the overall level.
Yeah, I think they're a tier above the number one pick contenders
because they're trying. Like the Cardinals, I feel like are not even trying. The Dolphins definitely are not trying.
They got Cam Ward, a big weapon too, and Carnell Tate in the draft.
Yeah, no, I like the Titans here.
Made some moves in the defensive side, and then Commanders.
I think Commanders join them.
Bad. Which is crazy to think they were just in the NFC Championship 2 years ago. But
yeah,
the team is not that great.
And
is Jaden Daniels going to stay healthy?
The receiving core is so bad. Like, is there a world where the Commanders are a tier above this? Yeah, maybe so, but my expectations are not very high for them.
I feel like run game is terrible with their industry plant running back.
Come on, man.
No, I'm joking. But no, I don't like their run game. Outside of Scary Terror, I don't like their receiving group. Jane Daniels can't stay healthy. And then defense, I mean, they signed Odafe Owe. But I don't like it. They're in bad. I actually don't mind where we ended up with this. Heavy playoff teams, but it's like that's kind of like going into the season. I think that like we're going to be more optimistic about teams than not. So I'm kind of okay with how we ended with this. I actually thought we put more players, more teams in Super Bowl contender originally I thought we would, but I don't even mind the teams we put in there. Like, is there anything you would change about this?
I think it's comfortable enough. I mean, it's preseason in July, right? Like,
maybe injuries could happen in training camp. That would change things, but that's about it now. We're just waiting for the season. 2 months. We're not almost there, but we're past the offseason, kind of. So, yeah. All right. Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments. I'm sure there's some disagreements here. So let us know. Of course, like and subscribe. Would appreciate it. And we'll be back with another video very soon. Peace out, guys.